It's been a while since I posted any video at all. Probably 2 months now. It's crazy. I can't believe I stayed this long without posting anything. But I've been so busy working on multiple projects for clients, all of which are web marketing jobs. But one of the things I always do is for those who are members of my web marketing for CEOs club, I have an obligation to share with you knowledge that will help you protect yourselves and also help you to empower others as well. So this is one of those situations in which I feel this is knowledge I should pass on to you so that you can have it within your reach. And if you have to interact with anybody who is in the web development space, for them to do anything for you or for them to do anything for somebody you care about, you at least know what to say to them when they say certain things to you. On your screen here, slide 1 of 5 is a screenshot from a chat, from the transcript of a chat I had with the agent for my web host, the support agent for my web host. And just quickly, I'll run you through this for you to understand. This has to do with how a particular client of mine has been taken for a ride by some young people who are handling their website from which she wanted to migrate to my own platform. So you see the question I'm asking there. On the right hand side, you see the black lines. On the left hand side, you see the blue lines that I've done with a highlight. All right. So, and I was asking there the agent to tell me if the information the lady was given, that the EPP code, okay, would take 3 months to get. The EPP code is the code that is you need in order to enable the authorization of transfer from one web host account to another web hosting company. And this thing is something that I knew from years of it. I've been in this business for almost 2 decades, and I know for a fact that it only takes you a few seconds to a minute to get that thing from right within your control panel. But even if you need to get to a third party or whatever other procedure, worst case scenario, it takes you a few days, and then you effect your transfer within a few days too, so it has never been a problem. I've never had this before where a client is told it to take her 3 months to get the EPP code. I told her it was a lie. Now we've come a long way. We've registered a different domain, .org, but we still try to see if we could get the .com from them. They told her to pay 40,000 naira, which I've tried to calculate to be about $26 equivalent. Okay, but first of all, they told her to take 3 months. Then suddenly, within a week later, when she pressured them, they said she should pay 40k. She paid the money. They gave her the code. And as I speak to you, we still can't effect the transfer because at their end, somebody's refusing to authorize the transfer. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know how the thing works. But clearly, someone on their end is connected to the registrar somehow. And that final process of authorizing the transfer has not been enabled. So we are here, and with this lady, I had to tell her this morning, this is what I'm being told by the hosting company. Today was when the domain is supposed to have dropped into my reseller account. So that's not happened. So I asked him that question. He replies me saying that no, that when you register a domain, the EPP code gets generated instantly. It's something that's within seconds, right? So you can log into it anytime to check it. Then I asked the other question. What about the money they asked her to pay? All right. They asked her to pay the equivalent of $26 because I'm talking to an agent in the US now. So I have to convert from Naira to dollars for the person. And they made her to pay that amount to get the code that they sent to her about a week later. The guy said, I have never had this, that people pay money for EPP code. There you have it. That's one. Let's go on to the next screen. All right, so next screen 2 of 5. You see, he was asking, the agent then asked me, was it the company that charged this amount? And I said, I doubt that the name Silo LLC will be the one that will do such a thing. It's unethical and definitely not needed. So I said, then the guy said, well, that's very inappropriate, but I do not know what rules they follow. They don't follow any rules. They're criminals, as far as I'm concerned. And then I explained a little bit about the background, the relationship that she engaged them to handle her web marketing. So they built the website, and then they seem to be keen to hold on to the domain because they don't want to give up that project, because she wanted to move it over to me so that I could help her with the web marketing and try to get better results. Okay, so that's second screen. Let's go to the third one. So here I'm in slide 3. I'm telling her that these are the same guys that have been giving her all the information he has now confirmed to be false, and which I have also been telling her was false. And I said I did not think the alternative he was proposing, that we could do a manual transfer, because he didn't seem to understand that these were the same guys that were in charge of everything. They did not even give the woman her login details to her cPanel, so she was literally at their mercy. This is one of the reasons why I'm doing this. If you're going to trust anybody, at least if it's, I'm not claiming to be the angel or Jesus Christ, but I do know that I don't hold anybody to ransom. If my client requests for their control panel details today, or whatever other details they want, I give it to them. I don't have any dog in the fight when it comes to people deciding where they want to take their business. My own is to prove myself worthy to handle their stuff, and generally people trust me so well they don't even bother to ask for such things. But the point is, these guys, whenever they are asked to give up this stuff so that the client can move elsewhere, it becomes a hassle. Okay, so he then made the suggestions to me, as you can see on the screen, manual transfer, which I told him I didn't think would work. So let's go to the next screen. So in slide 4 or 5 here, you see I take a screenshot of my laptop. So I take a photo, of my laptop showing the chat in progress with this gentleman, and I send it to my clients in WhatsApp and tell her, look, I call her up. I tell her to call me. I tell her I want to speak to her, so she calls me up. And while I'm speaking with her, I'm still looking at my chat screen and interacting with the guy. And I tell her, look, this is what's going on. This guy has confirmed what I've been saying. This is the situation now. He's suggesting that he wants to talk with some of his team members to see if there's an alternative. This is what he has proposed. And she promptly tells me, well, she really thinks we should just go ahead and just focus on .org. We shouldn't bother about .com, that she's going to let them keep it and do whatever they please with it. Now, the thing I told her from last week, which made us register .org, and I'm telling you this for a reason, so that nobody holds you to ransom. I've done this with other clients. If these naughty boys choose to hold on to your domain name, shouldn't bother you. The names don't really matter anymore like they used to in the early days of the internet. It doesn't matter what name you use. So simply get the equivalent TLD. So the same name, dot a different TLD. And .net and .biz, .net.org, .biz. But .biz, I will be very slow to pick up a .biz. But generally .neg and .org generally are the ones I recommend that clients take. And then you take that up, use it for a year. By the time the guy sees that it's expired and you haven't come back, he wouldn't want to renew it by himself, because it doesn't benefit him to do so unless he's really, really, really mean and also has the money to throw around. So if it doesn't renew it, then the domain should eventually becomes available for you to snap up again. You buy it back and then you put it to use. I've done that successfully with clients, and that prevents anybody from being able to hold you to ransom. So basically that's what I wrote there. And so she said she wanted us to proceed with that, use the .org and just ignore the .com until further notice. We'll simply be checking it, and once we see that it becomes expired and it's not renewed, after a while we just pick it up. All right, so this is just something to give you the knowledge that you can do it, that nobody should be able to hold you to ransom. The information also is being given to you now, so that you know that when you purchase a domain name, you should request for access details, the login details to your panel and everything. It is your right as the person who has paid for it. It's the first thing you should get from the guy who's doing it for you. And just make sure that they are trustworthy if you are going to do business with them. All right, so let's go to the last screen. So here, this is just to close. You can see she says, let's go on with the .org. All right, henceforth, in other words, she's completely, because we were trying to make sure we saved the .com in a way that it wouldn't affect the Google visibility of the brand, because it had been indexed to some extent by Google, not really extensively, but a bit. And we felt it was important to be able to catch whoever will go through the .com angle by bringing the .com back into the hosting account. But unfortunately, we have to give it up. So then you see that she, based on what she had read, having read the transcripts of my chat, she now saw that indeed these guys have been playing her. So you could see that she's resolved now. Look at the thing she's saying in the second to the last paragraph there. That, look, I will appreciate that. I believe they will not release any information, and I'm not ready to go back and forth with them. She had been going back and forth with them for days on end, and then she said she knows what to. And one of the things she did was she actually forwarded, all right, my chat transcript to them. Now this is another reason why I decided to do this recording, because those of you who are my web marketing clients, most of you know that I actually encourage you not to let people know who I am, not to let them identify me by name, because I have a lot of. There was a time in the Keja axis here, the Ogba axis, for instance, and Allen Avenue, where I was getting phone calls from some people who were web designers who were accusing me that I was spoiling business for them by telling clients that they should not pay for web design, that I would do web design free for them, and it was only web marketing I would charge for. And they began to call me and say I was doing, I was undercutting them, and that there were all kinds of threats and accusations that I was spoiling business for them. And I was saying, look, give your clients value. Building a website is not a big deal. Even a 5-year-old can use available technology today to build a website. This was way back in 2009, by the way. And I started building websites free. And so some of my clients or people who met with me, discuss that service with me, will now challenge their own web designer and say, or web hosting company, and say, why can't you build for us free too? Why do you always charge us money to build web? And so it became a problem. And now those guys now began to look for ways to attack me. So I've had instances where people went and paid money online to do what's called negative SEO against me. So for instance, they will link my website to a pornographic website, and when you did a search on my stuff, you would actually see pornographic websites coming up. It was crazy that time. And Google had to actually give me what's called a disavow link to be able to kind of tell them categorically that I have nothing to do with those websites. And that really helped me. If not, it was making me really look bad, and it could have dropped my website ranking. So basically what I'm trying to say to you is that it is in your best interest to follow the instruction, the suggestion I'm giving you, that do not mention me too much if you have to mention me at all. Because the bad guys who don't like what I've done to stop other clients from being exploited by them might attack you to get at me. You understand? That's just the truth. So these guys now that they have my name, they'll Google me. So if they find out that you're linked with me, I'm doing work for you, to make me look bad, what do you think they're going to do? They will attack you. So that's why it's best stay silent about it and let me play the role I play. Let me be the invisible man behind the scenes, making things happen for you. I'm very happy to do that. I don't need the publicity. Right, thanks. Would you believe it? Just as I was preparing to send this video for export so I could upload it, the notification comes in from my web host, okay, that I resell for, and here it is saying that the domain transfer has been successfully done. It has been authorized, and they were supposed to do this. This was supposed to have happened before now. I've never experienced one in which we had to wait till the very last day and very last few hours for this thing to be authorized and approved and transferred. It's something that happens very quickly within a matter of days. We had to wait the entire length of 7 days or so. It's crazy. But clearly they didn't want to do it. But I think what she did by forwarding my chat transcript to them, I think that's just what they realized, that then the game was up, they've been exposed, and just to save face, they naturally, because to hold on to it further than that will just make them look worse, having taken her money and all that for no reason. So here we are. It's all done. We know it's for a fact now that they were lying. They were trying to cheat her, to exploit her. And please be warned, these things happen a lot. I've met many clients who chose the wrong people to build and host their websites for them. And unfortunately for them, by the time it became apparent, it was too late. They couldn't get their stuff. I've met clients that had their website locked up by a web host, a young man, for 6 years before I came along and then had to negotiate with the guy to get it free. So please be careful. Learn from this story. Try and make sure you do your due diligence to decide what, because this is your brand. You don't want to put your brands in the hand of somebody that's going to sabotage you. They won't help you to grow your business, to get the clients or recruit leads that you want, and at the same time they will be preventing you from going elsewhere where you can get what you need. These guys are not interested in your progress. They're just looking at their own pockets, and they want to see how they can milk you. They don't give a damn about whether or not you succeed with what you want to do on the web. So please do your due diligence before you engage. I wish you well.